Hello, good morning, everyone. We have come together today
Very good morning, madam.
to actually, I won't use the word celebrate, but at least commemorate to so many cancer survivors, cancer fighters, and so many people who are doing service towards the cancer survivors on this World Cancer Day, the International World Cancer Day. Um, and we are here to bridge the gap between fear and hope. That is the theme of our seminar today. Just one second. I hope everyone is okay for recording, and please accept that. Um, of course, today is celebrated February 4th as World Cancer Day. And I understand that it was first observed as World Cancer Day in 2000 with UICC starting this initiative to bring together common-minded people. Um, and the last 2 years, the theme that UICC has put out for World Cancer Day is United by Unique. So essentially, the last 2 years is focused on how crucial it is to provide personalized, patient-centered care. Of course, to fight, come together and fight against cancer. Obviously, it helps and highlights the importance of adapting cancer treatment, cater to the unique needs of every individual. Having said that, World Cancer Day or itself can mean different things to different people. For some, the word cancer itself can bring fear. For some, it may bring memories, some hope. And many of us, it probably brings in service mindset and motivates some new research as well in this direction to fight the disease. Um, while cancer still is something that everybody fears, but the reality today is changing. We have excellent research that has happened over the years, and we know that earlier detection results in better treatment efficacy, longer survival, and possibly saving many, many more lives, right? So that said, today we come together to look at what are the changes in the scenario of the treatments, the preventive mechanisms that exist. How do we enable early detection to many more people? Because at Niramai, for example, just to sort of give a view of what we do for those of you who are not aware, we have developed this new method of detecting breast cancer, right? Which is non-invasive. We consider pioneers of developing this AI-based breast cancer screening, which converts temperature maps to a cancer health report. With this, we are hoping that cancer screening can be made more accessible, affordable, because today in so many of the developing countries, there's no access to a simple mammogram machine, for example. It's very expensive and many people fear to get it. How can we get a very simple test which can detect most of the cancers that may be there and then bring them to further treatment? That has been our motive, and it's been 9 years of our research and development and now commercial in 22 countries with a lot of clinically validated, regulatory clear devices and many awards. And just again, one slide on thermolytics itself. It is a privacy-aware early-stage breast cancer detection technique where we've proven clinically that we can detect very small lesions, as small as 4 millimeters, without any limitation on the age group with which we can do the test. And we just do it with measuring the temperature, so there's absolutely no radiation, and we are making it much more affordable and portable. And most importantly, we try to sort of take care of the needs of the end user during screening, which is completely private setting, where no one sees or touches the person during the test. Having said that, we are all coming together here to listen from the experts. We have two main experts who are going to talk to us about and share the knowledge with the public about what are the different ways in which we can fight cancer. And first, we have Dr. Mathew Cherian, sir, who is a very, very well-known radiologist, a veteran, senior radiologist who was a mentor to so many other radiologists. I was there to hear his keynote at IRA just 2 days ago. I was mesmerized by his talk, and I requested him to do the keynote for for this particular seminar, and I'm so grateful for him to have agreed to deliver the keynote with the topic of does cancer mean death anymore? So do we really have to be scared at all? That's the first talk we're going to have right away. Then we do have a patient, very inspiring teacher who kind of, detected her cancer last year through thermolytics. And then she's very happy, back to her work, etc. We went to interview her and she spoke for 45 minutes. So we're going to sort of have a small snippet of that today and post the full video later separately. And then we have the third speaker, a veteran cancer specialist, preventive oncologist who have been working in the tier 2 cities as well as, of course, mostly in Karnataka, trying to sort of create awareness and different programs towards cancer prevention as well. So we will hear both the speakers, and we are very grateful for both of you for agreeing to be part of this program and highlight the importance of being aware of the different cancer treatments available, preventive measures, risk factors, and also many research that's happening in this area. Thank you very much, Dr. Cherian and Dr. Jagadeesh, for sparing your time today. So without much ado, I would love to invite Dr. Mathew Cherian, sir, to the podium to deliver the keynote. Just a bit about him. Dr. Mathew Cherian, sir, is Chief of Radiology Services in KMCH Coimbatore. He is definitely a pioneer in interventional radiology. He actually, I believe, brought in CO2-based interventional radiology right here in India for the first time. And he comes with, of course, MBBS as well as MD radiology from JIPMER Pondicherry and PDCC in interventional radiology. He has several awards to his credit in terms of many initiatives he started. He was a founder member and past president of Indian Society of Vascular and Interventional Radiology. That shows the pioneering nature of, he was really instrumental in creating that Society of Vascular Interventional Radiology in India. Past president of Society of Therapeutic Neurointervention, president of Indian Society of Neuroradiology currently. He's medical advisor to many industrial bodies, Boston Scientific, Stryker, Medtronic, and many others. He's the co-author and author of 100+ scientific publications, delivered multiple lectures, keynotes, and we're really honored to have him in our small gathering as well. And of course, there are several awards he has, gotten, and I guess many gold medals and so on, and also a Lifetime Achievement Award from Indian Medical Association. With no further ado, sir, may I request you to educate us and enlighten us of what are the different ways in which cancer, treatment and fight against cancer is moving, and how can we just not be afraid of it? Dr. Cherian, sir, please.
So I will share my screen if it's okay with you.
Yes, sir, please. I will stop sharing. Please.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so first of all, Geeta, thank you for asking me to speak this morning because I am an interventional radiologist, and technically this should be done more by medical oncologist, the topic which I wanted to share, but I still wanted to share this primarily because I just want people to understand that we are completely moving away from the word cancer as a disease that was always associated with death, and moving to a level where we can actually be treating it just like any other medical disease, like diabetes or hypertension or one of these. So obviously that means we have come a long way, and this is just the beginning. So obviously we are at the point of a massive transformation in cancer therapy. And also, I was kind of very impressed by Geeta's dedication towards creating a system for developing countries where breast cancer detection is very, very, very poor because they still do clinical breast examination. And I just wanted to see whether thermography could be a tool which could probably help detect cancer at an earlier stage. So I titled this as Do we really still need to fear cancer? And I hope at the end you'll realize that very soon you will not have to fear cancer provided we detect early. So there is this very, very amazing statement that says a lack of knowledge creates fear. Seeking knowledge creates courage. See, when I was a child, I used to be terrified of going into a dark room because I was scared of what was inside this dark room. And it was a scary thing. I have no idea why. But as I grew older, I'm not scared of a dark room because I know there is nothing inside the dark room. So typically, this is exactly what happens with cancer. Many, many of us are convinced we are sitting inside this dark room, this lit room. And once you get cancer, you think, oh my God, this is this dark room. I'm going to get inside this room. I do not know what I'm going to see. And this is going to be a disaster. So, what is the reason we have this problem? It's purely because of a memory of the past, right? The legacy of the past. And what is the legacy that cancer has given for the past? It is this. First, the diagnostic delay. Very, very often, we find the malignancy late. Today, maybe a cancer that is on your nose is picked up early because you would see it. But otherwise, you wait for symptoms, and that is you have jaundice and you go and do a abdominal scan, you find cancer, it's too late. We cannot treat it, right? So the big issue is, can we make cancer detection early, so early that it is really small? And we know that early cancer is a curable treatment. The second problem is the past stories of traditional chemo. We used to wonder, is the treatment worse than the disease itself? Because chemo affected the whole body. Normal cells were dying. People looked extremely sick. Toxicity, hair loss, vomiting, weight loss, skin changes. When you look at it, you say, my God, I can't go through this. Then the unknown factor, we don't even know this treatment is working. It would take months after the whole therapy is done that we realize it didn't work at all. And we are in an extremely bad spot. And that can be also a very, very dangerous place to be in. Okay. So I'm going to talk about how diagnosis is going to completely change because we are going to do something which is called liquid biopsy. Well, what's liquid biopsy? It's a revolution that is going to happen in a test tube. Today, we know that if you got an infection, you take your blood and you give it for test, and you may find several tests positive, right? In the traditionally typhoid, you do a viral test, it's positive. You got typhoid, right? Or for example, you got HIV, you do a test and you got HIV, your hepatitis B. All this were happening through a blood test. Imagine detecting cancer through a blood cell. How revolutionary would that be? And how do we do it? Now, one of the things we realized that is that you have a patient who's got a tumor. Now, these tumors of a cancer cell are not very sticky. So what happens is within the cell, we got genetic material of the cancer called DNA. And this DNA starts actually spilling out into the bloodstream. And if there is some way we could find out this DNA is not from the human body, but from a cancer cell. And if you have a technique of detecting this DNA, we will find it out. So what exactly like liquid biopsy do? It finds out the odd DNA strand. right? Looks crazy, but it's possible. And how was this possible? It all happened because of this amazing uh, in discovery that they did, and that was the Human Genomic Project. It was started in 1990, took 13 years. In April 23, they had every single DNA strand of the human body mapped out. Can you imagine that? That is several billion DNAs were analyzed, and today we have an absolute blueprint of the body's DNA. How does it make a difference, therefore? Why is it so important, right? April 14, 2003, the Human Genomic Project was completed. What does it mean? We have something which is a blueprint of your DNA. How does this help? To make you simply understand, we have a machine which picks up counterfeit note. So how does it pick up counterfeit note? It's simple. You program the machine with the pictures of an absolute, authentic, genuine note. So once you have it, whenever there is a mismatch, it immediately picks up and says, this is counterfeit because it doesn't fit to the programmed blueprint I have got of every node that is printed by the RBI. Have you got that? That's pretty simple logic, right? I know what the original looks like. So when I see something which has got even the smallest variation, I know this is not authentic and I discard it because this is not printed by the government of India. Something very similar happens when we do this testing. The computers are loaded with information to tell exactly how each DNA of the normal human looks. So when it is looking at these billions of free DNAs in the blood, it picks up and says, this DNA strand is coming from a subtype of breast cancer. And what is interesting is we're going to pick up this DNA even before a tumor is visible on a scan. So now you understand, you got a product which gives you a diagnosis way before symptoms. All you got to do it like an annual checkup, give your blood, and you get this test. That is amazing. One test with many answers. Currently, we are able to screen 50 plus types of cancer from one drop. Very soon, we're going to have hundreds of cancers and subtypes and subclassification out of one drop. It's an expensive test now, but very soon it's going to be in such large numbers, maybe for something like 10,000 rupees, you can screen for every type of cancer. That's all you need. And it tells you, you have got free cells coming. And when we are absolutely sure what you need, maybe just one targeted therapy, one small round, that's all you need. And keep doing the blood test once in every 6 months or once in a year. And you know whether any more cells pop up or they don't pop up. And you're living an absolutely normal life. So basically, we are now going to pick up cancer at stage 0. When we are ready with this, our mammography machines will become a waste. Even for the matter, Geeta's machine will no longer be necessary. It will take time, maybe 10 years. But till that time we need it. But this bottom line is cancer detection will be just like picking up any other infection in the body. Just like picking up anything, You look if you're a cholesterol, you just give your blood and say, okay, yeah, this lipid profile is abnormal. It's as simple as that. And therefore, a blood test is all that you need to finally pick up cancer. This is going to be revolutionary, unthinkable. A couple of years back, nobody could have imagined something like this. Then, when you detect cancer, what happens? We got a whole lot of therapies that are not going to, you heard of carpet bombing? What happens? You got a city and you feel the city has got, say, 100 terrorists over there. Carpet bombing is destroy the whole city along with 100 terrorists. You can have laser-guided targeted bombing where you have absolute amazing coordinates. There is a bunker buster bomb. Only that building goes. Targeted therapy is very simple like that. Now we know because of we can analyze the genetic makeup of cancer cells. We can find a cancer protein which is necessary for multiplication. Imagine today I put an antibody and which links up to this. So I can create an antibody very specific. And once I've got the antibody, now I can knock it out. And I'll tell you how we can knock it out, right? So it's basically called the lock and key appearance, right? So we got targeted therapy. How does it work? Drugs that only unlock and enter cancer cells, leaving healthy cells alone. So I can break the cancer cell because I got a targeted drug. It locks on to the cancer and destroys the cell. Get that point? It's amazing, right? Can you imagine that? It turns a deadly mutation into a treatable flaw. So you need a mutation. If you don't have a mutation, this targeted drug will go and attach itself to normal cells. So I have got a mutation. For example, let us say a simple way to make you understand. Imagine there are some mutant humans that are come which are very dangerous. And these fellows have got 3 pairs of eyes. Not 3 pairs, 3 eyes, okay? So now I create a system which is like a drone that picks up only people with 3 eyes and kills them. Did you get this point? So it spares everybody with 2 eyes because the mutation is the 3rd eye. So this is what targeted therapy does. I have got a mutation. I create an antibody for that mutation. It goes there, latches on that and kills it. Have you got it? Every normal cell is therefore spared, right? So it turns the mutation is the reason you got cancer. Now we take that mutation to be our advantage. So therefore, you stay stronger where the cancer gets weaker. Have you got that? It's basic, very simple. You can understand the logic which I'm telling, right? You got a mutation, I kill the mutation, only the cells with mutation and everything else goes on. So we can today do what is called cancer fingerprinting. Can you see that? What is it? Precision medicine. Basically, you do a genetic fingerprinting. Each cancer is unique. So therefore, now you have got this unique genetic makeup. You create an antibody specific for this cancer. It goes there, boom, it blows up. You don't even know it. You're back to normal activity. You're not having any problems which are typically associated in the background. These antibodies are working for you and killing cancer cells, right? So we call this whole thing as targeted therapy. So for example, we got a CD20 receptor, we got a CD33 receptor, we got a CD52 receptor, we got BRC, ABL receptors, we got HER2, we got EGFR, we got, VGFR, the whole lot of them. And you can see we got a whole lot of drugs which are targeted therapies that can actually latch on and destroy these cancer cells without really affecting the rest of your system. And this is revolutionary therapy, right? Completely change. And it's very fascinating to see these people, right? We see these people who have got these CD20 mutation or CD33 mutation. We put them on these drugs, for example, CD33 mutation. We will see it on lung cancer for the matter. And you do these and we find these people, all of them doing exceptionally well, totally normal, 10 years, see them, they're walking around the place as though nothing happened. We do have problems after 10 years or 50 years. Sometimes they develop a resistance, but then we got something else to treat. But the way we treat cancer completely is changing, right? Along with that, there is another brilliant therapy, and that's called immunotherapy. Now, why do we need immunotherapy? Cancer has got a very interesting behavior. We can actually call it a wolf in sheep's clothing. What's a wolf in sheep's clothing? You got 1,000 sheep that is there in your sheep pen. Now a wolf comes inside, completely disguised as a sheep. Nobody knows the wolf is there. Even the shepherd doesn't know the wolf is there, but the wolf is slowly killing the sheep because when nobody is watching, it's behaving like a wolf. Now this is the problem with cancer cells. What happens with cancer cells is cancer cells can completely disguise itself. When it disguises itself, what happens is, I just show you, I think this slide has just gone out of focus. Just a sec. Just a minute. Yeah, I think somehow we. Okay. So what we do here is this. So we have a cancer cell, which is totally disguised. We take the patient's blood and harvest the patient's T cells, which are the T cells are basically lymphocytes, which basically produce the antibodies. We reprogram the T cell. And these are basically the attached to it a chimeric antigen, as we call it, antigen receptor. And now this reprogrammed T cells are multiplied in large numbers. What does the T cell do? The reprogrammed T cell is able to pick up or uncover the cancer that is hidden. And they attack the cancer cells and they cure you completely of cancer, and they're going to live in your body forever. Can you imagine that? It's like setting around a whole set of watchdogs that are going to roam around, kill cancer cells, which can completely disguise itself. It's a phenomenal therapy that is done. See? So what does the cancer cell do? They have this invisibility cloak. They're disguised completely. Your immune system is designated to kill bad cells. Cancer cells wear a mask that tells your body, I'm one of the good guys. I'm just like a normal cell. The immune system cannot therefore detect it and cannot therefore kill it. And that's why cancer grows. All you have to do is take off that mask. And that's what we're able to do with these super T cell killing machines. You take a T cell, you go ahead. So we got so many things. We got checkpoint inhibitors, drugs that unmask the cancer so that your body discusses it. CAR T cell therapy, re-engineering your body cells to become super soldiers, and your body does the work, not the chemical. You get it? Have you got it? If you can unmask the cancer cell, the body's immune system will kill it. Or you reprogram the immune system, they go ahead and kill it. And all these are therapies currently available in the world. It's available in the hospital that I work in. And we see people for years, 10 years of cancer, living normally. And this is going to be a routine. It is not going to be something you see in few centers. This is going to be like every person will be doing this for you, right? So this is exactly how CAR T cell works, a revolutionary treatment. Step one, you collect T cells, collect the blood cells, isolate the T cells, re-engineer and reprogram them. You multiply it into become millions of T cells. You put it back and give us as an infusion. It goes and kills and stays in your body and keeps multiplying, And the T cells multiply to find and kill cancer cells. It's just like what happens when you have got a viral infection. People say, you got a chicken pox once, you won't get it again because your antibodies are there. And those antibodies keep on working. The same thing actually we do with vaccinations. Today we got vaccines that produce antibodies and very, very effective for carcinoma cervix. We got vaccines which are there for hepatitis B, and hepatitis B is a precursor for people developing liver cancers. So if you can give a vaccine and stop it. So you see the whole world of cancer is changing. There's another therapy called BiTE therapy. This also works in the same way, They call the bispecific T cell engager. Again, they will have a combination of a drug and get a T cell modified. They work in the body, they unmask the tumor and kill the tumor and destroy it completely. Then they got, see, I'm just showing you, there is a system where you can actually genetically modify by gene editing and then go ahead and expose the cancer. You can get CRISPR edited T cell. No, that's called a CRISPR edited T cells. All these are methods and techniques by way you're going to completely change the way you ever imagine cancer therapy was being done, right? And it's changing the way. So basically, why was I here? Because traditional cancer therapy was involved with radiation or drugs. They kill healthy cells, they kill cancerous cells, so massive side effects. Today's cancer immunotherapy is a targeted therapy. They unleash their body's own immune system, kill selectively cancer cells alone, and no side effects or very, very low side effects. Are you scared today if somebody tells you I got viral fever? No, because it doesn't matter. Are you scared today when somebody talks about chicken pox? No, you got vaccines, you got drugs, you got antivirals. And this is the same thing that's going to happen with cancer therapy. Right now, currently expensive, but in the next decade, cancer is going to be more of a medical disease than a fancy disease associated. But for that, we need early detection. Because you can't get a tumor that is spread all over the body with trying these things, the volume is too high. And therefore, liquid biopsy will make a difference in this set. So, the three pillars are detect, weaken, eliminate. We detect with liquid biopsy. we weaken with targeted therapy, we eliminate with immunotherapy, and we irradiate. You get it? So this is what: detect, weaken, eliminate. Detect, weaken, eliminate. With targeted therapy, we are taking off a lot of cells. Now we unmask it, we eliminated immunotherapy, and we have minimal collateral damage. People can lead very normal lives. Okay. Along with that, you understand there is a huge lot of work supercomputers are doing. You have the genetic makeup, you load it. It tells you what is the exact drug that will work for this. We couldn't do that before. We know whether the drug will work before really subjecting the patient to the treatment, because you got enough data to say this genetic type of cancer responds or not. So again, we're going to see very, very specific drugs for specific tumors based on the genetic fingerprinting of the tumor. And it's going to, this whole another way where we can do PET MRs, we can actually find out the volume of tumor and detect and give exactly drugs, doses, not for the whole body, but limited to the tumor. And these need supercomputers to work. So basically, we are going to change a life from terminal to chronic. Diabetes is a chronic disease. You die from diabetes today, hardly hear of anybody dying of diabetes. You live for 85, 90 years. Blood pressure, chronic disease. Can you get this point? Increased cholesterol, chronic disease. Same way, managing cancer is going to be like managing high pressure or diabetes. You keep taking this medicine, you stop it, the cancer may come, but as long as you take it, there's no problem, like diabetes. Working, traveling, playing, all this can be done along with the treatment, just like you do with diabetes or high blood pressure. Extend life by decades, not by months, with no side effects. And you go on and on and on for many, many years. So basically, cancer is going to be this integrated approach. For example, you got a patient with breast cancer. You are now going to straight away start with the genetic map. You do targeted therapies for the patient, and you may not do any surgery at all. And the whole life of these patients are going to have a revolutionary shift. See, today there are so many success stories, Now, Vijay Bhatt's talking about the tremendous benefit that's going to come into the world to immunotherapy. Do you know, see Susanna Roshan, Hrithik Roshan's ex-wife, and you understand that she had cancer, she's living normally today. This is a celebrity, Monisha Kurila, living a normal life today. This Patel, they tell you at 6 months to live with lung cancer. He's now finished close to 10 years and living normally. This is Reena, who had a breast cancer survivor, living for years today. Sonali Bhandari had secondary and metastasis all over the body, living normally. But probably somebody you can never imagine, Yuvraj Singh, he had cancers, back to playing cricket again. Right here, I had a postgraduate student. She was so depressed. Her father was having cancer, lung. Today, it's 10 years down the line. Father lives a totally normal life with nothing happening. I can tell about so many people. I had a friend of mine, 21 years after lung cancer. He was living a totally normal life and just died a few days ago. And you just couldn't imagine this at one time. I still remember when he had cancer, he was so worried. I said, will I see my children married? He saw his children married. He saw them have grandchildren. They have grown up. Today, cancer is no longer that scary thing of the past. But the key thing is you need to detect early before all this works. Okay? So in summary, cancer will become more of a medical disease. We'll detect a cancer at extremely early stages. Imaging combined with genomics data will give a pathway for precise treatment. Imaging like PET MR will dominate the future, right? So I didn't touch upon some more things because of lack of time. There also going to be a lot of changes by robotic guided needle placement and ablation. So we can put multiple needles by a robot and we can destroy the tumor with energy like heat or cold like cryo or microwave. So basically we can debulk the tumor and again put them on targeted therapies, immunotherapies. So open surgery and all this will become a thing that is historical. But the biggest shift you want to see is liquid biopsy that's going to make a cancer be picked up just like anything else. Like you do a test, you got diabetes, right? You see a sugar. That's as simple as that. And that's the same thing you're going to see with cancer. And once you got it, treatment is also going to be like diabetes and hypertension. You're on a pill most of the time. You just keep taking the pill like this and they are totally under control. So I think we are in a very, very exciting phase of our life. Long back, 80 years ago, we did not know infections kill people. They were letting out blood. Today we know that we got antibiotics to take care of most of infections that were killing people. Then came the vaccine, diphtheria, polio, smallpox. We don't hear of the diseases thanks to the vaccines, right? And now it's going to be the era where cancer is going to be exactly the same. We'll pick up cancer so early and give them on targeted and immunotherapies. And in the future, this is going to be more of a medical problem treated in the outpatients. You come, pick up, get a tablet, and continue to live a normal life. So I hope that you enjoyed this talk as we talked about this future that we have in cancer therapy. And I hope the fear of cancer slowly becomes a thing of the past as we go into this exciting journey where cancer is no longer a dreaded disease. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. It was such a wonderful, wonderful talk as usual. I mean, you did an amazing job of simplifying such complex principles, right? I couldn't imagine CAR T cells being taught so beautifully, right? Therapy and so many other things that you touched upon, immunotherapy, and how you said, yeah, amazing analogies. I'm sure, once we put this up on the web, many more people who are scared of these sort of new terms that are coming up, but not able to understand what it's doing. I mean, your talk was so simplifying these terms and making everyone understand what the research is attempting to do. What stage are we in many of these newer treatment methodologies, actually? I mean, in terms of, is some of these, for example, liquid biopsy, of course, is definitely
Freely
something
available
like a
today. You
holy
know that
grail.
liquid biopsy is freely available, and we
Hmm.
have got enough people like doing these, med genomics and all these people they actually do, and there are so many labs today doing it, and this is
Yeah,
going to be freely. This is only now in India. It's been just 2-3 years since we've been getting this.
yeah,
Imagine 10 years, it'll be every laboratory and every city is going to have genetic labs which will do this for you. We just need a
yeah,
simple collection
absolutely.
center and
Yes.
labs that will give you this report and give the data back to you.
Absolutely. We have started sort of, discussing with some of the liquid biopsy people who came in and said, okay, we do the liquid biopsy. We know there is some cancer cell, but identifying the source of cancer,
Takes
where
time.
exactly. Thank you
Thank you,
once again
Geeta.
for a wonderful talk, sir. We definitely were very, our knowledge is improved, I'm sure, and our audience will really make these black box words a little bit more whiter with your wonderful talk. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so
Dr.
much,
Cherian,
Geeta, and
sir.
I
It's
really,
been
really wish you success. And I'm very,
thanks.
very keen in helping Geeta develop this technology because I truly believe this is an answer for early detection for the developing country. It's got a product which is really the most cost effective, the simplest thing that is happening. And I'm really proud of what you're doing, Geeta. And like I told you before, I'll try my best to make sure that the government of India takes it up as the screening tool for cancer, not just for India, but across developing conditions. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Once
so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words and kind support. And thanks once again for a wonderful talk. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Once again, we thank Dr. Cherian, sir, for the wonderful talk. And with that, let's move on to, let me share my screen, to the last wonderful segment of learning from experts, where right. So where we will have exclusive interview with veteran cancer specialist, Dr. Jagadeesh sir. Jagdish sir, whoever have met him will know that he's epitome of energy. Like you can't even make out what is his age, and I'm not going to ask it. He has done so many initiatives towards prevention of cancer, in starting from a tier 2 city like Hassan and expanding it in Karnataka and rest of India as well. Just a bit about what I could gather about him from the web. He himself doesn't share much. So he did his MBBS way back in 1979 from Bangalore Medical College and also MD from BMC. He was head of Department of Community Oncology at Kidwai Memorial Institute. As you know, it's the regional cancer society, cancer hospital for Karnataka. He was also professor at Hassan Institute of Medical Science after the Kidwai stint. Many awards have been on his credit. Best Healthcare Service Award by Environmental Research Institute and Human Care Society of KGF, Rashtriya Gaurav Award 2002 by India International Friendship Society, Best Doctor Award by Lions Club, and Vocational Excellence Award by Rotary, and several other accolades. Even recently, was awarded to him. Dr. Jagadeesh sir, it's a real privilege to have you as a part of this webinar, where our aim is to create awareness about the different initiatives that are being done by organizations that you are mentoring and advising. What are the different initiatives that people who want to volunteer to prevent cancer or address early detection? What are those kind of initiatives that many of us need to take? And more importantly, like you've been in this field of fighting against cancer for many years now, and would love to hear from your career journey as well. So before I get into sort of, asking you specific questions, is cancer preventable? I mean, we did hear from Dr. Mathew, sir, it is treatable, definitely. And we all know that early detection helpful, but is cancer preventable? We call it preventive oncology, right? So, and is cancer a death sentence anymore from your perspective? Would love to hear about what is preventive oncology and how are we trying to prevent this?
Thank you so much, Dr. Geeta. I'm really honored to be with you today on this World Cancer Day. The best part of the lecture I heard from Mathew Cherian was he has passed us from the tunnel of darkness all through this 45 years, which I was passing through in the darkness, how to prevent, how to detect, how to treat, all this. We have come to a stage when we are out of tunnel with a lot of rays of hopes. The immunohistochemistry, the immunotherapy,
yes,
therapy are all going to replace almost all the other rest of the therapies across the world by the way he presented it, and should be applauded by whole world because it's not only a ray of hope, it's a sunlight for the cancer patients.
Definitely.
Apart from that, he took us to the microcosmic world where he showed the exact scenario of the cancer at the cellular level. But we know that a cell is a human body and human body is a cell. And now coming to the macrocosmic world, from the microcosmic world, we see people all around the world working with a lot of faith and hopes and life-filled activities. But in this mundane world, I think we still have to have some more thoughts on preventive aspects also. Because as a preventive oncologist, I just speak about 3 types of preventions always to my students community. Prevention, mainly the first bullet that you give to the prevention is the preventive prevention, where the medicine that we give to the community medicine is only about awareness. The awareness creates a thought in the people to change. And when they really change, it's an effective awareness. So to create this awareness about cancer is very important, as important as curing a patient, so that they can take care of themselves to prevent this cancer. We always speak of cancer about 100 to 110 varieties in terms of 3 levels. The first 1/3 are preventable only by lifestyle modifications. And the second 1/3 are detectable by early detection and treatment. The third 1/3 are palliative care patients, which are in permanent diseases which needs palliative care. So in these 3 directions, I have worked out throughout my life from 1980, when I joined Kidwai Institute of Oncology as the first resident of Kidwai, and Dr. M. Krishna Bhargava, who was my mentor, and Dr. Lalita, who was my mentor in chemotherapy. And all of them carried me through the journey for 27 long years as HOD of community oncology, where I could see thousands and thousands and thousands of cancer patients suffering each day with each type of cancer, and coming out of their cancers and living a happy, joyful life with many, many of them who came in first and second stages. But with
Okay.
Cherian's way of putting it, I think we'll have a day when even the earliest stage of cancer can be detected, and we will have no more of first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage. We should pray that. But apart
Yes,
from
sir.
that, to carry my experiences in Kidwai, why I want to carry the experience is that when I taught the World Health Organization fellowship under me, over 15 of them, they were all fascinated by teaching because they could carry to their own states all over
Countries.
India that cancer is preventable. Cancer is preventable mainly one third of them. Some of the common cancers have a very way of prevention, and we say that when we speak of causes of cancer, we usually speak of what we call the genetic factors and the epigenetic factors. Genetic factors we can change, that Cherian has already said, and epigenetic factors we cannot change overnight. The epigenetic factors always haunt us day in and day out, and it's said that by Nobel laureate that we are all sailing in an ocean of carcinogens. So till we come out of the sailing in the ocean of carcinogens, and it's an ocean of carcinogens where it is uncharted. It is uncharted. We don't have direction how to come
Yeah.
into the ocean, how to protect ourselves from the ocean, and how to keep ourselves aloof from the ocean, or to sail on this ocean. But there are certain principles in life where if we can modify our lifestyle to intervene between our genetic and epigenetic factors, this is called modification of lifestyle. It's very important to note some of the points which have come from our ancient texts, which really give us an insight into how we can best modify our lifestyles.
What are those principles, for example, to
Yeah,
modify lifestyle?
mainly the cause of cancer are classified by Western science as physical, the physical,
Okay.
the chemical, and the biological factors. This is the way
Okay.
of classification which we usually do in our medical text. But when we go to an ancient text called Rigveda, where it says that lifestyle is nothing but four pillars. We are built up from four pillars on which we build our lifestyle. The first pillar is the ahara, which helps us
Okay.
with food factors, which helps us with
Good
physical body,
practice.
health of the physical body. The second pillar is the vihara, or the recreation, relaxation factors like tobacco, smoking, and alcohol, which are on the wrong side, whereas music, dance, and other things are on the other side, which help us in building up our mental health. We usually relax, rest, and recreate when we are tired. Yeah.
Shiva, can you take care of the muting? Please go ahead, sir. Ahara, vihara, you were saying, yeah.
Yeah. The third component, which is for the third dimension of health, is the social factors. Social factors are called as achara in our old text. And our achara are the behavior which we do day in and day out, throughout the year, throughout our life, is the main basis on which we build up our physical and mental health. And this acharane, which you do, is mainly the crux of the problem, where we relate ourselves to the neighbors, we relate ourselves to the family, relate ourselves to the environment, and relate ourselves to our occupational factors. So these are the social factors where we get into the problems with some of the factors which are against us, either the chemical, the biological, or the physical factors. So apart from this, the four dimensions we never speak. The four dimensions of health is called the spiritual health, it's the intellectual health, where
Okay.
we have to care for our information, education, communication. It's called vichara. So the ahara is for the physical body, where we have to change lot. The vihara is for our mental body, where we have to change a lot for our vihara. And third dimension is the achara, the social behavior, which we have to change a lot before we get into a tune of our old lifestyle, where we were not getting cancers. That's one of the way. It's a dream only. But the four dimensions of health, the vichara, the basis of four dimensions of vichara is the information, education, and communication, which we are in ocean of education coming up. But the problem here is that with all this information, people are they prepared to change. That's the most important. We speak about ahara and say food factors. These food factors cause you cancer. Lot of junk food, fast foods lot of oxidative foods, all these cause cancer. But how best we can change? There's a gap between
Stop it.
knowledge and the practice.
Yeah,
We
habit.
always say the life is revolving around three factors: the knowledge, attitude, and practices. The knowledge is the wealth of knowledge we have through cyberspace, which is running around each home, each hand, each heart every day through messages. But this knowledge can be translated into action. That's the most important structural problem. Why I say is that which is better? The knowledge is better or action is better? For this, there is a great answer from Bhagavad Gita where he says, knowledge is good, attitude is better, but practice is the best.
Yeah.
He says to a shloka called Shreyohi Gnanamabhyasat Nana Dhyanam Vishishyate Dhyana Karmaparatyagat Tyagat Shanti Anantram. This simply means the practice of knowledge, as we are going through this webinar and website and all that, is good. The knowledge is good. Practice of knowledge is good. Shreyohi Gnanamabhyasat. But Dana Dhyanam Vishishyate. Better than this practice of knowledge is to recapitulate in your mind after going home, taking home the take home message, and think of the coolly about the future ideas about cancer or about the past needs that we need to change, what we have to change in our ahar, vihara, achara, vichara, and think coolly about it. And finally, Shreya Nana Dhyana Vishishyate. Dhyana is nothing but recapitulating. There's a second part which is at the heart. Knowledge is at the head. Second part is the heart, where we have to do a lot of recapitulation of thoughts, where we change. That's called attitude change. So when the knowledge converts itself into attitude at the heart, we have to change perfectly into action at hand. So the knowledge, attitude, and practice are three inseparable part of our life, where our health education and cancer awareness should work. So unless the people change their lifestyles by throwing away the tobacco, by listening to alcohol, by comforting themselves against radiation, and doing a stress-free life through good vicharas, and helping themselves with early detection, either through the latest technology or through the past technology which we have today. Until that latest technology comes up, the poorest of the countries can afford only these older technologies like pap smear, breast screening, through thermolytics or mammography and all this. So these three inseparable parts of prevention, the awareness part of it, and the early detection treatment, and the palliative care are running through and through in a single patient always, because many patients pass through this throughout the lifetime.
Yeah, I think it's very nice that you mentioned about Jnana, Dhyana, and finally doing the action is very, very important.
Very important.
Towards this, three themes, right? And how do we sort of make real prevention, awareness about prevention activities, and making them remember that again, and act on this,
Yeah.
So when did you get interested in this whole journey? Just switching to the career part of it, right? What made you, choose the preventive? Because you were the first, resident, right, in BMC, in preventive
Yes.
oncology. I mean, like there was no one else who was talking about it. So what made you choose this? Was there like one moment which inspired you to come into this field, sir?
Actually, when I entered Kidwai, it was a small hospital with a small building with Dr. Krishna Bhargava ruling it, and he was a dynamic personality who turned it into a regional cancer center, a UACCA recognized center, and almost an international forum. He brought it there. Throughout the journey with him from 1980, July, till he retired in 1990, it was a wonderful, hectic time where I learned a lot of things about the cancer patients, and I was put into the MCDU, the Mobile Cancer Detection Unit, where I had to carry all the doctors from the Kidwai specialists in a huge bus, which was a Volvo bus, which was called Airavata, and I was called Devita, carrying them to Karnataka. I have traveled about 1 lakh kilometers across Karnataka and see the plights of people at the village, hopefully at the district, taluk, and all that. And I've seen them suffering with lots of many advanced cancers where nothing could be done at the time. We were detecting them and sending them to our hospitals. And about 1 lakh kilometers was not a waste, because finally, when we gave the report to the WHO at about 2004 about our mobile cancer detection unit and awareness programs and all that, they said doing a camp with a organized camp is better than isolated camps. Isolated camps, opportunity camps are not advisable, we had to do organized camps. At that point of time, in 2002, when I was heading the cancer community oncology, I jumped into a corporation hospitals of Bangalore and took up the challenge of screening people at corporation hospitals, women mainly, to screen for breast, oral, and cervical cancer. And there is an opportunity from biochemistry, from our microbiology department to screen people for HPV viruses. So they could connect really the HPV vaccination to the cervical cancer in 2002 and 3 and 4. So this put us to a lot of help, which was the contribution to the field of prevention. And later on, I jumped into, with that, I came out of Kidwai in 2007 and joined Hassan Institute of Medical Sciences as assistant professor of community medicine. But I had a lot of time there because the college had just started and community medicine was being taught in only third year. So in the 2 years, what to do what? I opened a cancer center in Hassan Medical College and started the cancer detection center. This cancer detection center, with a good nurse around me, I could just give what you call early detection and also do pap smear, do breast and oral examination, and help them with palliative care, getting morphine from Kidwai and referring them to Kidwai. After 2007 to 2009, when people went to Kidwai, one of the patients came and said, "Sir, it's an ocean. It's an ocean called Kidwai where we get lost. It's difficult to comply for 3 or 4 or 6 months in a isolated place with leaving all our family and friends here in our districts." So I thought I should do something and brought a project to the Director of Atomic Energy seeking some financial return. So it was under a title called Financial Assistance to the Developing Cancer Institutions of India. Luckily, within 3 months, the reply came from DAE saying that yours is one of the best projects we have put up and we are pleased to give you about 1.75 crores. With this 1.75 crores, I could get a machine called Baba Toronto I, which is the indigenous.
Yeah, I saw this photo in the newspaper.
Yeah,
Said it was one of the first machines that you brought to Karnataka.
Baba Toronto I could get that machine rolled out, but positive funds were there for what we call bunker and source. For that also, I struggled with the government and to get that. Finally, it started working in 2013 when we had a tie-up with HCG for 1 year, and they ran the machine so kindly to treat about 80 to 100 patients. This is the first what we call contribution of mine to the treatment. Apart from that, I was restless in 2014 when I thought this machine should be brought to all the nooks and corners of Karnataka, wherever there are medical colleges. There are about 10 medical colleges across Karnataka at the time, and I wrote a project to the government of Karnataka where the chief secretary sir and our DME sir and our minister sir took me to the DME, to the Director of Atomic Energy, and saw the tweet that they agreed to supply the equipment better than our vision, like linear accelerator, brachytherapy, etc., to the 10 government medical colleges. That brought a ray of hope to me. But unfortunately, when I was struggling with that all alone in hospital college, also managing my community medicine teaching, at 2019, there was a devastating havoc across the world when Corona came into picture, and the project was bound down and it was kept aside. The team from Tata Cancer Institute had to come and visit our 10 medical colleges to endorse with machines, but somehow it got stopped. So, not wasting my time, 2018, I started with the palliative care, which is the other third dimensions of prevention. So, with the palliative care, we associated with one of the wonderful organizations called SVYM. It's the Sri Vivekananda Youth Movement, which is one of the innovative NGO across the globe and all India. And they helped us out with a MOU with my department. And I used to go in my auto to each house which was identified with cancer and consult the patients and give them consolation, rest them up when they had permanent cancer, and help them out with morphine tablets. We could get it sanctioned from the excise department, and I could help them with morphine. So many patients now today who are not alive would be certainly blessing all of us because they died in peace. We usually call in our ancient text that by two dictums, Vina Anayase, Vina Dainyan Jeevanam and Anayasen Maranam. Vina Dainyan, without any difficulty, you should live in, without
Equalness.
any sympathy, you should live in life, and without any pain, you should give this world. Arayasen Maranam. So I think I have delivered many people with Arayasen Maranam, but Vina Dainyan
Sir.
Jeevanam, I can give given to those people who were rejected early. They are still living today, happy and homely living
Wonderful,
life.
sir.
Apart from
It's
this,
amazing.
I was disturbed when I was retired at 2021, when Corona was still lingering. And at that time, I was 70 already, and I was forced to retire from Government of Karnataka. But you not giving up hope. In 2023, I again reapproached the Director of Medical Education at Karnataka government, and Dr. Sujata Rathod was very kind enough to give me an opportunity to present my project. The project which I projected
Yes, sir.
was mainly about this, which you can read, if you can read. It was about
Yeah.
establishing a
Oncology
oncology
wing.
wing at each government medical college of Karnataka,
Excellent.
with palliative care, with early detection centers, and with radiotherapy and chemotherapy. This was my project, and that was accepted by Dr. Sujata Rathod Madam very kindly, and went to secretary level. And again, it was passed through Kidwai, and Kidwai director Dr. Naveed was very kind enough to see that they give the expert opinion on it, and we revived the project and went again back to Tata Cancer Institute. But somehow the Tata Trust are still to give us the funds which are required for that, or the machines which they had earlier promised earlier in 2014. But still, I have not given up the hope. I'm fighting through many other philanthropic organizations like Premji Foundations, like Infosys, and also we are not just approached Infosys, Premji Foundations, and I approached ISRO, the chairman of ISRO, that Kiran Kumar
Yes.
was the earlier chairman, is a classmate of mine in National College. So he's very kind enough to receive my project and said he would see for any CSR funds from there. And hopefully, I've also approached Benz Mercedes Corp manager or the director, who has also promised us some hopes. So
Amazing.
hope, I'm living still at 75 to think that in another 5 years, if everything goes well, the 16 medical colleges, which are really promised by Director of Medical Education, he has passed an order also to that extent, saying that the 16 government medical colleges in Karnataka will have a radiotherapy center in a short time with 32 crores to each medical college sanction. So I would like to see the day of light of day.
Excellent.
See that
Definitely you will see, sir, the amount of effort you're putting.
The hope with which I'm bringing, and hope which I have to give to the public of the Karnataka. And not ending at this, my message is that each oncologist coming out of the shell from their four walls should come to the community and see what's happening in the community. We are seeing only the tip of the iceberg in the clinics or the oncology centers. It's a tip of the iceberg. But when you come to the community and go to the camps and see the screening program, you see a lot of white tubes floating under the tip of the iceberg. And it's people who are suffering there have no means or no aims of life and have no any hopes of coming out of that. So we have to attend to all of them by giving a webinar like this and giving them some hopes and giving a protocol where we can give some hopes of treatment protocol, at least a radiotherapy center, a chemotherapy center, and a palliative care centers. Even if the latest technology, like technology which Dr. C N said, comes up, the last end stages of the cancer patients will certainly, I don't know whether they'll be totally cured or what, but I don't know the future ideas about it. But when they get into a stage where the fourth stage may come or may not come, at that point of time, we need to have palliative care. In this direction, I approached the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences at Bangalore, where Dr. Bhagawan, Dr. Abdul Karam, and Dr. Suresh Krishna have taken it seriously, and we are now into spreading the message of palliative care to the medical students, to the nursing students, and to the health workers, where they have taken it seriously to start the palliative care centers at their doorsteps. And with
Amazing,
my
amazing.
association with Hassan Medical College, now I am trying to approach all the 7 talukas of Hassan and see that our limited 2 vans which are reaching homes of cancer patients here in Hassan, we want to start another 7 vans from each taluk, going to each house with permanent disease of cancer and permanent disease of complications of diabetes and hypertension, and try to give them some sort of service through pain relief or through dressing up or through counseling, so that it will help the humanity in the large sense.
Absolutely, sir. It's really, really inspiring, literally, right? To see the
It's
energy
not
and
just
the
endless
drive that you're
inspiration,
doing,
it
sir.
should be
Sir,
replicated. I want to
yes,
see
sir.
that it should be replicated not only in Karnataka, it should be replicated
Exactly.
in
So
each
in that
district of
regard, sir,
India.
so
Each
in
district of
that
India.
regard, what would be your advice to, let's say, non-profit organizations,
Yeah.
volunteers, and organizations like us who are conducting several community-led initiatives with along with our
I
partners
want to
in
give
many
a
parts of
small
India
message
and
to all of them. We will not depend about the corporate hospitals, not always. I don't
no,
say
but what are
corporate
the
hospitals
actions
come
that
wrong.
what are the
Corporate
actions that some of us
hospitals are needed. But what happens is that for a common man
yes,
with
sir.
a poor pulse,
So
he cannot
yes,
afford. He cannot
yes,
afford
sir.
therapy at a corporate
So
hospital.
what kind of initiatives should some of us, who are interested in doing
Yeah.
more with the community do? What
Yeah,
what are your
if they're willing
advice?
to participate
Yes.
with me, I've taken through the journey, what happened in Hassan Institute of Medical Sciences, and show them how the radiotherapy is being implemented, how the chemotherapy is being implemented, and how the palliative care is being implemented across many taluks of Hassan, and that will be a role model to be replicated in all the districts of Karnataka and all the districts of India. We should go to the entire Indian districts because
Absolutely.
it said that radiotherapy is needed for 1 million people, one radiotherapy machine. But we are very, very positive of that. We don't have machines at all, and it's very costly also. But if all these NGOs across the world help us out with some good funding for the equipment, it will be transparently clear to establish all these therapies across the Indian.
Absolutely. I think we conduct a lot of screening camps and mobile, but
Yeah.
then once a person is detected to be high risk or requires further diagnosis and finally detected to be malignant with a biopsy, for example, she definitely needs to go to a nearby treatment center to make it really effective. Especially long 1 year, 9 months to 1 year kind of treatment, it's always preferred to be in your own state to do this,
Yeah.
and definitely this will be very helpful. One last question from our side, sir, is of course you worked with so many, like pushing the government to do several things and so on. So if, for example, you were talking to the Chief Minister of Karnataka or like a state pro or even Prime Minister of India,
Certainly.
what would be the advice that you would give to
I'll
them?
hold their lotus feet. I'll hold the lotus feet to ask them to equip each district at least, not 2 or 3 centers, but each district with an oncology wing at each medical college. Why I say this is that a medical college is equipped with many disciplines of faculties with head and neck, ENT, gynecology, and oral, and also the pathology department, biochemistry, all that that's needed for diagnosis. Apart from that, we have other medicine department and surgical department, and we have to add only this radiotherapy department. Radiology is there to help us out. So with all this, setting up an oncology wing in each medical college is very, very meaningful. With that, we can tackle about 70 to 80% of cancers alone at district level. Only the oncology wings, which are regional cancer centers across India, can cater to the rest of 30% of patients which are in very early stages or which are needing specialized care. And this will solve about 70 to 80% of the problems of oncology by treating them
Excellent.
through awareness, through early detection and treatment, and through palliative care. The palliative care should not be only hospice, which are doing wonderful work at many places, but apart from hospice, it should go to the doorsteps of people, doorsteps to see the plight of people there. The families which are struggling there. The family people are exhausted. They don't have any directions to do what with the cancer patient. The patient lying down helplessly in the bed with lot of pain, without being able to talk, without having sleep, and they are struggling there. And what best can be done for them? That can be done only through palliative home care
Palliative. Okay.
services, which are very well accomplished at Harvard Medical College, thanks to the SCYM, the Sri Vivekananda Youth Movement, which are a wonderful NGO. And I would like to continue services here for the rest of my life to see that the people have at least the quality of life, though not the quantity of life, the quality of life. The primary nutrition or the awareness gives you both quality and quantity of life. The early detection gives you a little quantity of life with quality of life. But palliative care can give you only the quality of life.
Well,
Choose between all these three. Come to the centers when you have signals of cancer. Get a checkup yourself. And Nirama is there to give us a hope for breast cancer. Certainly, it's a real gadget which is helping a lot of people to get screened very easily and very at a cheaper rate so that they can afford it and also get detected. So these gadgets, I've spoken to Dr. Geeta already, should be developed in such a way that not only for breast, it should be used for thyroid, testis, and other lymph nodes, wherever the superficial part of the body where this infrared rays can enter and detect them early. So it's the message to Dr. Geeta also, to the whole world, saying that prevention is better than cure, but in terms of cancer, prevention is the only cure. Prevention is the only cure. So try to prevent yourself through a good lifestyle. And the dictum on prevention lies in a shloka from Bhagavad Gita again, which I conclude with a solemn salute to the Lord Krishna. He says, Yukta ahara viharasya, Yukta cheshtasya karmasu, Yukta swapna bhodasya, yoga bhoti dukkaha. That means to say, Yukta ahara, the good food factors, wrong food factors which are eating from the Western lifestyle should be avoided and our olden system should be incorporated. Yukta ahara, hitabuk, mitabuk, and rutabuk. And Yukta viharasya, leaving away tobacco, alcohol, drugs for our mental viability, but going for the olden way of vihara or recreation factors for our mental health. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu. Cheshtasya karmasu is a social activity. The social activity is love, affection, and fortitude with all our family members, with the community, where we can live a better life. They say that relationships are the final point where you get longevity of life. So the relationships should be more cordial. The families should bind themselves with each other. In the social, it's called Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu. And finally, Yukta Swapna Bodhasya. You have to dream to ignite your mind, and finally realize it through Avbodhasya, Jagrat. So unless we do this, when we do all this, Yukta Ahara Viharasya, Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapna Bodhasya, we can live a happy life. This is called Dukkha. Dukkha in Sanskrit means sorrow is avoided and Sukha comes into the picture. Sukha is the health, Dukkha is the ill health. So try to be always on the Swapna, stress on the Swapna. Dream to ignite your mind. When you are low, think of the future. When you have cancer, always there's a future. Think of the future and try to avoid those 3 months. You don't think that you don't have anything to do for that 3 months, but to take the treatment, and you will certainly come out of it and see the light of the day, the light of the sun, the light of the moon, and light of the dawn. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think your last few minutes were really amazing way of connecting our spiritual knowledge to what is prevention and how people should live their life. And also maybe it is time to end our show. And also what you mentioned is epitome of what we mean by Niramay. Sarve santu Niramyaha. Let everyone be healthy without any diseases.
Sarve santu Niramyaha. Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu.
Dukkha Bhargavet. So with that, we are very thankful to you again for enlightening us and also inspiring so many of the listeners about what we can do with our life by dedicating it like you
I would like to say that we should not forget what Cherian sir said. Cherian sir has given a lot of hope through the most modern technology of genetic writing. Till now we had genetic reading, now we have come to genetic writing, and it will change the whole scenario of oncology, and all these may become deleted when the whole entire world gets the treatment with such an innovative technology. Thank you, Dr.
Absolutely. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Dr.
Dr. Jagadish sir.
Thanks
I
for the
think
listeners.
today we had a wonderful knowledge sharing session from three great souls, I would say. One fully scientific about, what are the latest trends that are there in cancer treatment, so that, scientifically thinking, definitely we know how to address this issue and make cancer just a medical condition which people can come out. So definitely we are moving from fear to hope with the preventative methods that you mentioned with spiritual backing. I'm sure we can try and live a life which tries to avoid getting into that situation as well. Thank you once again.
The old roots and the
Absolutely,
new
sir.
sprouts. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, audience, for also being here and watching on live as well. I think with, you being part of this conversation itself is a major step towards creating awareness and action and hope. And so let's now have and leave this webinar with confidence to win the word called cancer, which we were fearing before. Thank you, everyone. And thanks, team, for making this seminar happen. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you.